had a lot of potential in the beginning, but the story went from borderline doing too much to becoming a little boring to where not even Park Hyung-sik's comedic acting can save it. Hi everyone, it's Jessica, your fave Asian drama fangirl. Today I'm going to be talking about a Korean drama called Dr. Slump, so let's dive in. The story begins with Nam Han-woo, who is an anesthesiology fellow that gets diagnosed with depression due to overworking and an overall toxic work environment. She rightfully decides to prioritize her health by quitting her job, but subsequently ends up both unemployed and depressed. Similarly, we have Yo Jong-woo, a rich and social media famous plastic surgeon who falls from grace after being put on trial for malpractice because a patient of his died during her procedure. These two traditionally successful once high school rivals become broke and burnt out, and upon hitting rock bottom, they once again meet each other in this enemies to lovers romantic comedy. This drama was released in 2024, and in terms of pacing, there were 16 episodes at about an hour each. Interestingly, this drama has the same screenwriter as What's Wrong with Secretary Kim and My Roommate is a Gumiho, both titles that I really enjoyed. Now let's get into the actors playing our main leads. For the female lead, we have Park Shin-ye. She has quite the extensive catalog, which I admittedly haven't watched much of, but I did watch the iconic The Heirs, which, funny enough, our male lead also stars in. This is her first drama comeback since getting married and having a baby, so I felt like there was a lot of hype around this title. To be frank, I feel like the biggest thing that I knew her for was her kissing mannerisms, or lack thereof, but I'll let y'all decide how she did in this drama. For the male lead, we have Park Hyung-sik. He also has quite the extensive catalog, though I personally loved him in Strong Woman Do Bong-soon and Hwarang. He actually seems super at home in this role, like look how goofy he is. I feel like his behavior was kind of similar to Do Bong-soon, but I did read that he had the chance to do a lot of ad-libs, so maybe that's just the route that he chooses when he has the opportunity to. As I mentioned before, the two acted together in The Heirs as classmates over 10 years ago. It appears they're pretty good friends in real life, so I was curious to see what their romantic chemistry would look like since they actually seem better suited as buddies. After watching it myself, I think that was basically confirmed. Together, their dynamic was more a comfortable friend energy, not really a sizzling romantic type of energy, you know? I tend to prefer the latter, so I thought their chemistry was just okay. Okay, but look at this Dubai montage that they put out. So cute, right? Alright, now let's pivot to the storytelling. There were a lot of different themes and plotlines going on in this drama. Technically, it was classified as a romantic comedy, but it was really more a mental health, healing, medical, mystery romantic comedy. The overarching theme is this mental health and healing conversation. Kinda serious, slice of life-like, with lots of these really nice, almost life lessons and takeaways.
그럼 어차피 이렇게 쓰러진 김에 우리 쓰러진 김에 좀 쉬자.
비록 오늘은 해가 뜨지 않았지만 내일은 뜰 것이다.
그렇게 우리는 한치 앞도 모른 채 뜨지 않는 해를 그럼에도 기다리고 있었다.
They're doctors, so they do touch on the medical component here and there, but it's not a full-on medical drama with lots of action in the operating room or hospital. The mystery comes into play with regards to Yo Jong-woo's trial and trying to figure out who the true villain is. It was cool at first, but it got way more complicated than I think it ever needed to be. On the romance front, we have two couples. Our main couple develops a romantic relationship where they're a little naive due to lack of experience, which is cool at first, but as a viewer who's around the same age as our protagonist, it does get a little tired with all of the tropes that they employ. There's also the second couple who are single parents who are exploring the idea of a new relationship. Finally, the drama utilizes this sort of slapstick style comedy, which Park Hyung-sik kind of does all on his own, so it could easily be interpreted as a little cringy.
번호라도 물어볼 걸 그랬나? 번호는 무슨... 이게 아닌데. 이러면 안 되는데.
That being said, there's kind of a lot going on, but unsurprisingly, they don't seem to mesh super well with one another. I felt like the tone of the drama was everything everywhere all at once. It was kind of hard to focus on what I should be feeling, which kind of brought me out of the story a little bit. Not only that, but one of the major plot lines was essentially resolved by episode 8, so they kind of ran out of plot for the 16 episodes. I felt like the drama gave me too much leeway to pick and choose which plot lines I wanted to see. Now, in terms of production, the cinematography did stick out to me in this drama. Did it make the story better? No, but there were certainly some unique framing shots that made me think, oh wow, that's really cool, that's interesting.
깜짝이야.
Now let's move into the breakdown of our main characters. Starting off with Nam Ha-nul. She has always been all work, no play, and in turn sacrificed so much of her youth to reach her goal.
가장 즐거웠던 기억? 수학 정석 풀었을 때?
Nothing else mattered to her, not friendships, not the pleasure of enjoyment, nothing, which is ultimately what leads to her burning out. Yo Jung-woo comes from a couple of high-achieving parents who don't really give him much attention beyond making sure that he's successful in school and in his career. Despite probably feeling that pressure, he's consistently a top performer and he has a really good heart. Likely due to the lack of familial attention, he does give a lot to the people around him, which does unfortunately come back to bite him in the story. The relationship between the two progresses from competitive classmates to fellow adults in a similar field, just supporting one another through hardships. I really appreciated their relationship before it got romantic because it felt very healthy, but once it became romantic, it felt like they lost some maturity in them. Okay, now let's talk about my favorite parts of the drama. I did like the portrayal and attempt to bring awareness to mental health. The show really highlights the impact that ambition has on mental health. We're watching two very traditionally successful characters fall to low points in their lives due to the pressures of constantly needing to be perfect, not only from themselves as individuals, but also from everyone around them. This of course leads to things like burnout and depression, and it highlights how fickle other people's perception of you can be when you do reach those low points. The one hope you can have is that when you do reach these low points, you've surrounded yourself with the right people who will love and support you regardless of the hardships you're facing. And of course, that you prioritize your health in all ways. Speaking of people you surround yourself with, I loved how Hanul's family stepped up and really tried their best to understand her condition, especially her mom. Her reaction felt particularly realistic, where she was first in denial, and then she eventually moved towards doing little things like growing a plant because that's what she had read might help Hanul.
나는 니를 최고로 키웠다. 니를 위해서 내 모든 걸 다 바쳤는데 그런 내 딸이 절대 그럴 일 없다. 누구한테 그런 이상한 소리를 들었는지 몰라도 세상 사람들 다 우울증 걸려도 니는 절대 아니다.
나는 아프지도 못해.
당신은
사랑받기 위해 태어난 사람.
그게 네 말대로 칙칙하게 직사하고 앉아있는 게 니한테 도움될 것 같지도 않고 해서 슬픔을 잠시 접어두고 아싸리 기쁘게 해주려고 준비해봤다.
And of course, for our main leads, this is why I enjoyed their relationship so much in the beginning episodes. They remained consistent with their competitive natures by trying to get better together, but how they relied on and supported each other felt very comforting.
이게 무슨 약 먹방도 아니고.
그래도 같이 먹으니까 든든한데?
Another thing that I liked was the second couple in this drama. It was very realistic, very natural, and I loved the depiction and representation of single parents. Like, yeah, single parents deserve to find love again too. Alright, now moving into my not so favorite parts. Outside of taking medication, I wish that they had emphasized other ways to remedy the situation with Hanul's depression. You know, like lifestyle choices. Like, maybe she shouldn't have been drinking so much since alcohol is known to be a depressant. I also felt like the Kyungmin plotline was overly complicated. At some point I was like, yo, what is this even for? And despite the multiple plotlines and themes going on, it really did feel dragged on in the end. Like, it probably could have been at least 2 to 4 episodes less. Additionally, it felt like there were some continuity issues with some of the scenes in between. There were some moments where they're bonding, such as chatting in the car or playing at the arcade, where they seem like they're really close. Almost uncharacteristically so. It's like they took footage from the two chatting or hanging out in real life and repurposed it for the drama. Like, look at how awkward she was being when he said, let's be friends, and contrast that to how they were being in the car and at the arcade.
하늘아, 우리 친하게 지내자.
웃고 있지만
그래? 그러던지 뭐.
견뎌내는 것처럼 보이지만 사실은 힘겨워하고 있다는 건 안다.
마지막 사랑하는 법.
I mean, it's fine if it's one way or the other, but that lack of attention to detail kind of took me out of the drama instead of me feeling immersed in it. Alright, now for my final rating and recommendation. Based on my scaling system, I personally found it just okay. I would recommend it if you want to watch a slow burn romantic comedy between doctors with themes of mental health, healing, and I guess a little mystery. I'd also recommend it if you're looking for a competitive enemies to lovers plotline, a main couple that support each other through rough times with a more friendly, platonic type of chemistry, or if you loved Park Hyung-sik in Strong Woman Da Bong-soon and you want to see similar behavior. That's my review of Dr. Slump. Thank you so much for watching, and please feel free to comment down below. How did y'all like the drama? Please also feel free to let me know if there are any other dramas you want to see me watch and review in the future. And as always, if you want to see more content like this, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take care and be safe!